was just mall security. And of course in Santa Rosa, we've already been through this. As a matter of fact, the lead mall security guy was fired. So yeah, we've been through this before. But I expect them to call the police on me because I don't accept their rules. So. That's funny you're telling me that these people are allowed to protest, but I'm not allowed to film it. That is hella funny. But of course, been through this before, and sometimes it does wind up with an arrest, but in the end, that arrest is almost always thrown out, especially in California.
Security what you've been told.
Postal Service got the rules.
Whose post office?
The People's Post Office!
Whose post office?
The People's Post Office!
Whose post office?
The People's Post Office.
Whose post office?
The People's Post Office.
Whose postal service?
The People's Postal Service.
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 Whose post office?
The People's Post Office.
Whose post office?
The People's Post Office.
The U.S. Mail.
It's not for sale.
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 U.S. Mail.
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 Not for sale.
The U.S. Mail.
It's not for sale.
The U.S. Mail.
It's not for sale.
The U.S. Mail.
It's not for sale.
No privatization.
For the American nation.
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 No privatization.
For the American nation. Staples and the U.S. Postal Service have cut a deal that jeopardizes your mail service and your local post office. In fact, post offices across the country are at risk, along with thousands of good jobs. The Staples deal will replace full-service U.S. post offices with knockoff post offices and Staples stores that are not staffed with U.S. Postal Service employees. You have a right to post offices staffed by workers who are accountable to you and the American people. You have a right to postal services provided by highly trained, uniformed Postal Service employees who are sworn to safeguard your mail. Whether it's at the post office or Staples, the Staples deal is bad for consumers like you who will pay the same or less service. And if Staples and USPS move forward with this deal, it could lead to the end of the Postal Service as we know it. In the meantime, the Staples deal is replacing living wage jobs that our community depends on with low-wage jobs that hurts our economy. Staples, the U.S. mail is not for sale. 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 U.S. mail not for sale. U.S. mail not for sale. U.S. mail not for sale. People's Post Office. The People's Post Office.
Where your chair?
United States Postal Service is a multi-million-dollar
Okay, so here comes police that I expect were probably called by security. So we'll see if they come over and harass me. I don't think they will.
The Postal Service is one of the most efficient government agencies. It is the hub of a $1.3 trillion postal industry. The Postal Service processed 22.6 billion pieces of first-class mail last year, plus billions more standard mail, priority mail, parcels, and periodicals. The Postal Service is being forced to pre-fund future retiree health benefits for future employees not yet born. It is the only agency or company forced to pre-fund retiree health benefits 75 years into the future and do it within 10 years.
All we need to do is stay away from the streets and we should be fine. The streets. We need to stay away from the streets so there is no liability against Staples.
The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail
It's not for sale.
The U.S. mail.
It's not for sale.
I guess the police just informed them all they need to do is stay off the street.
The U.S.
That's actually the reason why I'm not even on the sidewalk. First of all, this is a better shot. But secondly, if they're going to target me, they'll probably do something stupid like say that I was obstructing the sidewalk or something. So I'm staying away
Postal
from it.
Staples got to go.
I don't know how you be done.
Postal Staples got to go.
Security government.
Must rebel!
Security government. Security government.
Must rebel!
Security government.
Must rebel!
U.S. man.
Not for sale!
U.S. man.
Not for sale.
U.S. man.
Not for sale!
Who post office?
The People's Post Office!
Who
We're going to pass around and we're going to ask you to sign a postcard and a pledge card. Please give us a favor, give us 2 more extra minutes. Sign the pledge card because we need to have that on our records and also want to mail it to Washington, D.C. for record keeping, who's been here, and also to get you involved in future protests. Okay, so I'm just going to pass around you guys. Please sign the pledge card. You already signed the postcard. The postcard is for the CEO of Staples to send a message to these guys that we are against privatization. Okay, so the pledge card is for our records, to have it in records so we can actually ask for your help for future protests. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here today.
Closing post offices, reducing postal retail unit hours is not putting the interest of the consumer first. The union opposes the closure and sale of the American Public's post offices. The consolidation of 145 mail processing plants that delays mail by 2 to 4 days is not putting the interest of consumers first. The union opposes the appropriate consolidation of plants. The elimination of postal neighborhood collection boxes and postage stamp machines does not put the consumer first. The elimination of 1,847 delivery routes and elimination of 6-day delivery does not put the consumer first. Staples employees make $89 an hour and were recently informed that the
Thank you. Thank you for your
Mike, go ahead, continue.
The Postal Service is being forced to pre-fund future retiree health benefits for future employees not yet born. Postal Service is the only agency or company forced to pre-fund retiree health benefits 75 years into the future and do it within 10 years. Postmaster General has violated the Postal Accountability and Enhancement Act of 2006 by defaulting on a yearly payment to the U.S. Treasury of $5.5 billion at least twice. The United States Postal Service made a profit of $600 million for having been forced to make the future pre-funding payment of $5.6 billion. United States Postal Service.com received 1 million visitors each day.
Hi, Kat.
Millions of Americans still rely on the Postal Service
Good to see you.
for their correspondence and mailing. 300,000 residential patrons and 310,000 businesses surveyed gave United States Postal Service an 85% satisfactory rate.
Can you suit up my friend? Thank you.
3.2 million Postal workers are sworn public civil servants who are under the Code of Ethical Conduct covered under multiple federal labor laws. Union wants public services for the People's Post Office. Postal workers process and deliver 548 million pieces of mail each day and drive 1.3 million miles to transport and deliver mail each and every day. The union wants more quality services.
So, of course,
I should have left at 7 o'clock, not 7 o'clock. At 1:45, I'm on the press. I'm calling and trying to send another lady. He said, well, somebody else. I said, Carrie and Miriam are there. Do they know what to say? I said, yes, they do.
The U.S. mail.
I had my backup.
The U.S. mail.
It must have been something in my mind. I was calling him at the last minute.
You did already.
There were cops over there, and they left. But still, there's 2 guys that already harassed me and still. Oops, sorry. Hope I didn't give everybody the spins there. Security people again. I wonder if they're all going to try to harass me now.
The People's Postal Service.
Like this in I'm sorry.
Do you shoot in automatic mode when you're shooting like this when you video?
Sometimes. Well, see, I'm videoing from here, and from here I just do high def stills. So I really focus on my stream because people are talking to me now, and I'm broadcasting. So really, I just kind of put it on automatic and click some stills off when I get it.
I have a blog. Do you have a YouTube site I could take the video off?
Yes, absolutely. And also my live stream site. And also
about live stream.
I'm recording. I mean, Ustream rather. I'm also recording HD. So generally, what I do is, even though my stuff is archived on the Ustream channel, I take it off the HD and then upload the HD to my YouTube.
I've got an email in here. If you have something,
Yeah, and
send me your email. Or
I didn't bring cards.
Don't worry,
So,
don't worry.
but that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I'll email you later on so you know to.
To Seattle tomorrow, anyway. So
The jeopardizes
Okay,
your mail
very good.
service and your local post office. In fact, post offices across the country are at risk, along with thousands of good jobs. The Staples deal will replace full-service U.S. post offices with knockoff post offices in Staples stores that are not staffed with U.S. Postal Service employees. You have a right. Post office is staffed by workers who are accountable to you, the American people. You have a right to postal services provided by highly trained, uniformed postal service employees who are sworn to safeguard your mail, whether it's at the post office or Staples. The Staples deal is bad for consumers like you who pay the same for less service. And the Staples and the USPS move forward with this deal because these are the end of the postal service as we know it. In the meantime, the Staples deal is replacing living wage jobs. Our community depends on
Sorry, I had to
jobs that hurt our economy.
switch a wire around here.
Staples, the U.S. mail is not for sale.
Can't switch
the
the wires
U.S.
at
mail
the same time.
is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. Damn straight. The people's post office. Security down the mail. Security down the mail. Security down the mail. Hey, hey. This is the new post office. The people's post office.
I don't say no more down here. I retired.
Not for sale.
Now I got to go around here.
Yeah, right. Thank you for the support.
Okay.
Not for sale. In a time of rapid societal and technological change, we must strengthen our universal communication and delivery network, not weaken it. It would be a national travesty to begin to dismantle this unique network, jettison its numerous capabilities, and jeopardize all its contributions. When the financial challenges properly understood can be addressed in ways that are more effective and cause no damage. The Postal Service should offer products and services that allow it to remain relevant in the digital age, such as high-speed internet for those currently without access, and electronic payment services for the unbanked. Why is it important to save the Postal Service? Because it's the centerpiece of a $1.3 trillion mailing industry that supports 8 million jobs. Because it is indispensable in the overall economy. Because its laws, it is included in the Constitution. Because it binds together this vast nation, offering inexpensive service to every resident, no matter how remote. And it also unifies individual communities. And because this universal network has value we often don't even consider, including in the areas of public safety. When Homeland Security officials needed to plan for a way to distribute medicines to residents in the event of a biological incident, they turned to the Postal Service. According to the Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Postal Service has the capacity for rapid residential delivery of medical countermeasures for self-administration across all communities in the United States. The federal government shall pursue a national U.S. Postal Service medical countermeasures dispensing model to respond to a large-scale biological.
Hi, DFC. DFC says nice, energetic crowd. It really is. It's very cool to see. Some of these people are from Berkeley, some from San Francisco. And where this is, San Leandro, it's about 9 9 miles south of downtown Oakland. Technically, Oakland really starts just a few miles up the road from here. But the downtown area of Oakland is about 9 miles away. And this town is a largely a blue-collar town. This isn't a high-tech area or anything like that.
Not like at the post office, where it's underpaid, but it's really a matter of union jobs that you.
And DFC, yes, some are postal workers, not all. Others are supporters that have been trying to actually protect the Berkeley post office.
Along with thousands of good jobs.
The
The Staples deal will replace full-service U.S. post offices with knockoff post offices and Staples stores that are not staffed with U.S. Postal Service employees. You have a right. Post offices staffed by workers who are accountable to you, the American people. You have a right. The Postal Service is provided by highly trained uniformed Postal Service employees who are sworn to safeguard your mail, whether it's at the post office or Staples. The Staples deal is bad for consumers like you who will pay the same for less service. And if Staples and the USPS move forward with this deal, it could lead to the end of the Postal Service as we know it. In the meantime, the Staples deal is replacing living wage jobs that our community depends on with low-wage jobs that hurt our economy. Staples, the U.S. mail is not for sale. 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 It's not for sale. The people's post office. Who's post office? The people's post office. Who's post office? The people's post office. Sécurité au demain. Most free mail. 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 U.S. mail. It's not for sale. U.S. mail. It's not for sale. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. U.S. mail. It's not for sale. 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 Thank you for your support. Postal's open. Not funded by taxpayers. Almost got to go. Thank you.
As you can see, almost everybody that drives by here is supportive because this is an industrial kind of area. San Leandro, it's largely blue-collar workers.
This means a dire warning of a taxpayer bailout.
So, of course, there's a lot of support for these people here.
The Postal Service has not used a dime of taxpayer money in 30 years.
Go ahead, sir. Go for it.
I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail
Tell you. Cut it out. After I left the name, he said, all right. Go ahead. All right. I don't even know why.
You have a right to post offices staffed by workers who are accountable to you, the American people. You have a right to postal services provided by highly trained uniformed Postal Service employees who are sworn to safeguard your mail, whether it's at the post office or Staples. The Staples deal is bad for consumers like you, who will pay the same for less service. And if Staples and the USPS move forward with this deal, thank you for your support. It could lead to the end of the Postal Service.
Oh, thank you, DFC. I appreciate that.
In the meantime, the Staples deal is replacing.
But it's these people that are doing all the work, that's
our
for sure.
community depends on with low-wage jobs that hurt our economy. Staples, the U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale.
Hi, Arch.
The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. 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 Who's for office? The people's post office. Who's for office? The people's post office. Who's for office? The people's post office. Security does the mail. Bus free mail. Security does the mail. Bus free mail. Security does the mail. Bus free mail. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go.
This guy's trying to back out right. Back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Watch out. Watch your back.
Somebody had to tell me that somebody was trying to back their car out.
I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Staples got to go.
Funny that happens because I'm always looking behind me all the time. I'm always afraid that somebody's going to sneak up behind me.
Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Postal Staples got to go.
Catwoman, that's a good question, but I think a lot of it is just lack of knowledge. That's all it is. People don't understand the impact this is going to have, especially in rural communities. This is going to be devastating. Especially older people that depend upon medications that are delivered right to their door. It's really going to devastate that whole scenario.
Post office! The people's post office! Whose post office? The people's post office! Staples and the USPS have cut a deal that jeopardizes your mail service and your local post office. In fact, post offices across the country are at risk, along with thousands of good jobs. The Staples deal will replace full-service U.S. post offices with knockoff post offices and Staples stores that are not staffed with U.S. Postal Service employees. You have a right to post offices staffed by workers who are accountable to you, the American people. You have a right to postal services provided by highly trained, uniformed Postal Service employees who are sworn to safeguard your mail, whether it's at the post office or Staples. The Staples deal is bad for consumers like you, who will pay the same for less service. If Staples and the USPS move forward with this deal, it could lead to the end of the Postal Service as we know it. In the meantime, the Staples deal is replacing living wage jobs that our community depends on with low-wage jobs that hurt our economy. Staples, the U.S. mail is not for sale. 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 Who's post office? The people's post office. Who's post office? The people's post office. Who's post office? The people's post office. Security does the mail. Bus free mail. More like $200 million, a tiny fraction of the Postal Service's $5 billion in annual revenue. The Postal Service is not funded by taxpayers. All its revenue is earned from the sale of its products and services. This means the dire warnings of a taxpayer bailout are completely unfounded. The Postal Service hasn't used a dime of taxpayer money in 30 years. Another big financial problem, which also has nothing to do with the mail, is the Postal Service has overfunded its by tens of billions of dollars. In the private sector, this wouldn't be a problem, but as a quasi-public agency, Congress must give the United States Postal Service access to its own money. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. The U.S. mail is not for sale. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Service got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Service got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Service got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Service got to go. I don't know what you've been told. Postal Service got to go. Not for sale. U.S. mail. Not for sale. U.S. mail. Not for sale. Not for sale. U.S. mail. The Postal Service expanding its post offices and mail processing facilities cannot be accomplished without the great delivery circumstances. That is why the Postal Service has eliminated overnight delivery for first-class mail and periodicals. It has caused crippling delays in mail service and caused driven customers to its competitors. This strengthens the Postal Service in the long run. It is critical that service standards be maintained.
Kind of windy out here. My hair is going all over the place. It's tangled in my Bluetooth and all kinds of stuff.
U.S. mail! for being here today. This is everything across our country. We're losing our middle class. We're losing our good jobs. It's really critical. I just read the paper last week where middle class jobs in the United States have shrunk. Our middle class is shrinking. Europe has passed them into lower wage jobs. What they want to do is they want to take high paid, good jobs with benefits, do some low wage jobs. That means more service. I want to see our postal service 6 days a week. I want to see all our post office. I want to have a taxpayer's post office. I don't want to have a private industry post office. Well, thank you very much for doing what you're doing today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jim. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale.
Catwoman, sometimes that happens to me. I have a lot of Bluetooth devices and a lot of things just in my living room in general where my main computer is that I usually sit. And a lot of times it's just the infrared interference from my cable box because I keep my remotes next to me. And just sometimes if I just have a hotspot or my phone even sometimes too close to my computer, it interferes with the mouse. I usually try to make sure I pull everything back away from my computer when I use it. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, but it's always okay if I pull all the other gate devices away from my computer.
I want to shoot too because it's for the local. Yeah. Ready? One, two, three. Thank you. Shoot me an email. Okay. That's okay.
DFC, yeah, that's kind of the worst thing about this whole thing is that if the post office is privatized in this way, corporations, of course, we all know it's like, it's a fiduciary responsibility and all that kind of stuff. So if there's a rural Staples not making any money and it's the only game in town for the post office and they decide to close that because it's not profitable, then there are an awful lot of people that will be screwed. So that's definitely, in my mind, that's a big part of this. Now, they're already closing over 200 Staples stores right now. How you doing?
Are you from the media?
No, I'm an independent. I do a lot of, I'm live streaming now actually.
Do you need to interview anybody?
I would like to. I don't, I've seen many of these people, various things I've done, because I've done a lot of off-title campaigns and so I don't know who might be the best speaker, but I certainly will.
I've seen a couple people that give you very good. I just have to find the right seat.
And I'm not a very good interviewer kind of person,
Well,
so
just
they need to be
well, we are, we all are, and I gotta find him first.
Excuse me? What are you shooting for? I'm on a news stream channel. Oh, okay. So I'm live. And you're live streaming? Yeah, and you know, it's interactive. People. What's your handle? I try to follow you. Trevoros. Trevoros. I do a lot of I open things and Andy Lopez stuff. Yeah, I was following Pirate for a while. You know, Clark. Oh yeah. Freeman Sullivan. Yeah, he's in D.C. right now. Yeah, I know. At this demo. Yeah. D.C. Yep. Yeah, he gets around, man. I'm envious of him. He seems to just kind of pop up, you know, in places. It's awesome. Yeah, he went to New York for a brief, but it was too damn cold. Yeah. So now he's down in D.C. and he's coming back here in about 2 weeks. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine also, Sunday, he helped out Freeman Sullivan a lot. Oh, okay, cool. He's on the live stream all the time.
Hey, thank you very much.
Oh, no problem.
For doing this, man.
No problem at all. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Vice Mayor. And I came out of the Labor Council too, man. Unfortunately, I'm the only one.
This is the Vice Mayor of San Leandro.
We passed it Monday night, yeah. No, I met with him early a couple of weeks ago, and we set up actually it might have been longer than that, we set up a little plan to talk to people so we wouldn't run into resistance, and ended up 7-0, and we got a pretty conservative city council, so. Yeah.
So I mean, what is your, if you don't mind, I'm live streaming right now.
Oh, sure.
If you don't mind?
Okay.
So, I have a question for you as the Vice Mayor here. Now, what is your take on all this? How do you feel about it?
I view this as just another way to destroy middle-class jobs with wages and benefits. I'm absolutely opposed to that. I want to see good wages, good benefits. It helps create sustainable economies.
Sure.
As a Vice Mayor of the city of San Leandro, I want to see people have money so they can spend it in our local stores, which props up all the small businesses in town. And you don't see me shopping in Walmart for the same reason. I think that we need to support good wages with good benefits. I don't want to see Staples take over the post office. I think service will deteriorate. I don't want to see post office close. I don't want to see good jobs be lost.
Right.
And so I thank you very much for doing this today.
Oh, no problem.
And calling our awareness to it.
You know, many people are watching, you know, too, live, you know. And I mean, my feeling is, the post office is kind of screwed up, but that's because Congress keeps on siphoning money away from them.
That's true.
And, you know, so there's, I mean, yes, it's messed up that it hasn't made money since Benjamin Franklin. But the thing is that that's because, like, oftentimes who becomes the postmaster general doesn't even have any experience in the job. They're just kind of appointed and find themselves there. You know, so, and really it needs to be looked at, you know, to make to make some changes so, you know, it works better.
Well, like I say, I thank you guys very much for doing this.
No problem.
Because I think when people find out this, they love their delivery, they love 6-day a week delivery.
Oh, I love my
They love their postman who delivers through their door. If they have mailboxes on a corner somewhere, what's going to happen? A lot of elderly people aren't going to be able to get out of their house even to go down to the corner to pick up their mail. You know,
especially in rural communities, and that's my biggest concern.
And we have a lot of elderly in San Leandro. Those individuals have all kinds of medications. A lot of them 10, 12 different medicines that they prescribe, and they need the daily service. They need the postal worker who is getting paid a good wage and good benefit. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much. So that was the Vice Mayor of San Leandro here. Really nice guy. And,
We're getting somebody for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So just to give us a topic basically, are there some points you want us to make?
Well,
or what?
actually, I mean, in general, I mean, everybody here in my stream too, they're all saying, of course, this is a bad thing,
Right.
So, and a lot of us understand how bad it is, especially for rural communities and for older people and things like that. But for the most part, I'd just like to just tell me your perspective. And,
So I just, just say why we're here, maybe.
What have you gotten so far?
Objection
Oh, well, I just talked to the vice mayor, and he underscored the things that I already believe anyway. How bad of an impact this is going to have just in general.
Do you know like all the details about the counter inside being staffed by non-postal employees, by Staples employees?
I do, but people watching my stream do not.
Okay.
So have at it. Tell us all about it.
Do you want me to stand in a certain area?
Just probably wind to my back would be better, and that's good. Okay.
Can you see my face or?
Yeah,
I'm good?
just, introduce yourself and make sure you say American Postal.
Hi, I'm Joanne Alberto from San Francisco Local 2, American Postal Workers Union, and we're here today outside of Staples in San Leandro protesting the fact that they have cut a deal with the post office, jeopardizing the America's mail. They opened up retail counters inside Staples that are being run by Staples employees and not postal employees. Staples employees are not accountable to the American people. Their allegiance is with Staples and their private company. With what we're asking is that they put postal employees inside of the Staples store retail unit. We have no objection to expanding the business. But we do want postal employees handling the mail. It's a safety, security of the mail issue. And people need to know that if they're going to bring their mail inside Staples, they need to think twice. That mail is not considered mail until it's in the hands of a postal employee. And they're not accountable.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a real good point. One thing that I keep on thinking about is what this is going to do to rural communities in which they're already closing post offices, and the closest Staples might be 15 miles away. What's going to happen there? Are they still going to have carriers or anything like that?
They will still have carriers. Unfortunately, right now, with Staples has a pilot program. So there's in 82 stores nationwide, and a lot of these stores are within 2 miles of the local post office, and some of them are on the same block. So Daryl Issa is proposing a bill where if there is a private postal counterpart, they can close the local post office if it's within 2 miles.
Sure.
And that would be dangerous to the community, because the American people are entitled to their post office, their local post office.
Right.
Staples can close at any time and not answer to the public, and they can leave the community without a post office.
Yeah, they have fiduciary responsibility.
That's right.
And that's that for that. And if if the post office
is essentially obligated to their shareholders.
That's right, to Wall Street.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, the post office inside could be packed, but if they're not making any money, they just simply don't care. They will close it.
What she said, they're intentionally understaffing these post offices. They're trying to get you to essentially, transition, kind of give up and then go to a Staples. The one thing about taking your mail to Staples is there is no guarantee of delivery service or security until it's picked up by a postal employee, which may be once a day.
Yeah.
So if you come in some point, say 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening, your mail will sit there overnight. If you come in, say at 7 p.m. on a Saturday, your mail will sit there till Monday.
Right. With
There
absolutely
is no
nothing being done to it.
Postal employees have a lot of concern for the security of the mail. You get talks about that all the time.
Sure.
You take an oath to work at the Postal Service.
Right.
Right.
There is no commitment on the part of a Staples employee They make so little money, they're either rushing to another job or probably looking for another job.
Yep.
But postal employees don't do that.
And I'm a printer, and so I'm often doing things with short deadlines and having to FedEx them out or anything like that. And I can't even tell you the amount of times that I have dropped things off in an office supply store for a UPS or FedEx pickup in plenty enough time, and it simply never even got on the truck.
That's
you know,
right.
and I work with very tough deadlines.
That's right.
So this is no different than that. This is going to happen. It's going to happen.
And also with these other companies that deliver the mail, you know, the postal employees make the extra mile. They do still go door to door. They do
Yes.
deliver the mail, and they're obligated to deliver the mail to the American people. So
Besides the whole thing that it's actually in the Constitution,
exactly, that's right. That's right.
but they don't care.
Another thing that would happen if they privatize the postal system, where would your postal rates go? There's no regulation. They can charge anything they want if you mail a letter.
Oh, that's...
I mean, sure, our postal rates go up a penny at a time or something like that.
Right.
But it's nothing like what would happen if it was privatized.
That's right.
I don't even work for the postal. I'm a retired machinist, but I rely on my mail being delivered to my house. And I don't know if that would happen if they privatize it.
That's right. They can actually raise it if they're not making money off of it.
Yeah, well, people like this are out to make money.
Right.
Because I like the Postal Service to at least break even on financially, but it's still something that we should leave alone, leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
In fact, improve it.
Well, that's what I think. I think it needs restructuring, you know, because to some degree, you know, the post office, because I think, in my opinion, I think the post office is lagged behind technologically, and I think if they got more money from Congress to actually do that, I think that it could get even better. You know?
First of all, the post office is the largest employer in the United States.
Yes,
Any technology, it's just going to take a while.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Even with
But I think
other
Congress is
pilot
not helping
programs, no, they're
develop
not.
that, you know, by taking money away from the post office.
One
Sure, not
analogy
making
I
it
like
better.
to use, you may be old enough to remember Pacific Bell.
Oh, yes.
They broke up Pacific Bell under the pretense that it would benefit the consumer.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with the consumer. It had to do with another business wanting to make money in that market.
Right.
It's the same scenario here, in my opinion.
Yes, right.
They want to make money on this.
Yes.
Pure and simple. It's profit mode.
Yeah.
Postal Service does not operate on the profit mode.
That's right. It's right. It's a service. I mean, my opinion is, you know, it needs to hold its own. You know,
Well, which it is.
So yeah.
Which
So
it is.
you know, from that standpoint, but it doesn't have to make a profit.
Well,
but everybody is profit centric.
But we are making a profit, and that's
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
This manufactured crisis that the post office is going broke or we don't have any money is completely fabricated. You know, we are the only. Congress passed in 2006. They passed a postal reform bill where they made the post office pay 75 years in advance for retirees' health care benefits.
Right, I remember
in a 10-year period. So that equates to $5.5 billion a year.
Right.
So last year, minus that $5.5 billion, the post office made $600 million.
Yeah. So they're just doing the chess game in order to make
That's
it
right. They sell this story out there to, you know, the woes of the post office.
Because I do a lot of research, you know, so I guess I've been reading a lot of the wrong things. Of course I'm on you guys' side, you know. Of course, right? They want to keep.
Our enemies are doing a very good job of spreading this, what I call disinformation.
Sure,
It's intentional. It's intentional. They're not just inadvertently spreading wrong information. It's deliberate. It's intentional. It's done with a malicious intent. And again, that's because their supporters want to make money in this industry.
Sure.
and pay their people nothing. Staples employees, even for the office business, office supply business, are the lowest paid workers.
Yeah, no, they make like 18K a year.
They start at $18,500.
Wow.
You can't live on that.
No.
You can't live on that.
Absolutely.
Now, on the other hand, their CEO makes $6.5 million.
I lag behind, so I'm hearing late.
Well, just to repeat, if you didn't get that, Staples employees start at $18,500 to about $20,000. Their CEO, his name is Ronald Sargent, makes $6.5 million. How's about that for a discrepancy in pay? They get no health benefits. Their hours are reduced, so they get no health benefits. That's it. Thank you, sir. Okay, thanks,
When are you going to have another one?
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Are you going to come to other ones or just San Leandro?
Right.
They don't have. The Postal Service is always underused post offices in rural areas. Also on many banks. Serve people picking loans for do with paychecks, cash and
Yeah, that's, well, like I was saying to her, I mean, my biggest concern about this is the rural communities that are going to be probably affected the most.
This is a pretty rare thing in that. It's the idea of putting rural post offices in the public
All the other noise around is it's hard to hear.
It goes out by Senator Warren of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I think it's really the answer because it provides service that we need in the paying 10% on the paychecks, this is cashing 50%. One shot. Do that in rural areas. Just expand the services. Just the another time service levels of post office. Delivery. I want to get rid of post office. I want to bring $10. It's all unnecessary. Totally false. When you said to the fools, general wisdom you have that computers have created somewhere through postal it's left alone.
Thank you.
Excuse me? Did you get everything that you need?
Yeah, awesome. Yes, way more than.
More information?
Yeah, now I've got to do more homework. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what do you stream?
I stream to my own channel. It's Treboros, and unfortunately, I didn't bring any cards.
Are you online?
But yeah, but if you have a business
Facebook?
card or something like that,
I don't have a business
I'm on,
card.
Actually, Twitter and Ustream. So I don't know which is more convenient.
Ustream?
Yeah, Ustream.tv. It starts with a U. I go by Trevor. I don't say my real name live because people are actually watching me in many channels all over the world. So my online name is Trevor.
You stream like that?
Yep. .tv. Actually, if you went there right now and had the YouTube app, you'd actually be able to see this.
Postal workers are sworn to the civil service who are under the code of
It's streaming live?
Yep.
covered under multiple federal labor laws. Yes! The union wants public service for the people.
No, I don't, unfortunately. But yeah, if you can find somebody with a pen, you can do it that way.
More quality services to be provided.
Oh, hi, Gentle Bear. Thank you, Global Occupy News down there, and anybody else who's restreaming me. I really appreciate it. It's always good to see you, Gentle Bear. Sorry, I'm having a hell of a time with my hair here right now, so I really should have tied my hair back, and I'm going to go into my car and do that in just a little bit. TV/channel/Trevor Oaks. And that'll bring you to my channel. On that channel, I have some other things written about my YouTube channel. That's easier to go to this and get the YouTube channel.
Okay, great. Perfect.
It's like numbers and letters and things.
Thank you.
I'm going to walk over to my car for a second because I've got to tie my hair back because this is making me crazy. I've got my hair caught in my Bluetooth and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of windy here. So I've got to get a hair tie. So if you guys just kind of be patient, we'll be right with you. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with. I don't have a hair tie.
He's not for sale. He's not for sale. He's not for sale. The People's Post Office. The People's Post Office. The People's Post Office.
coming out. I know you guys have got parched throats from all the chanting. We have a cooler to your left with water and soda. So please come by and take one before you go. We look forward to having future protests next week. And we hope you guys can all come out. Thank you for supporting us.
Bob's, I know, right? I know I can go into a store and get them, but unfortunately the only stores around here really are Target, Staples, you know, they're all the stores that I try to avoid, actually. So they're packing it in here, and I'm glad I really had the opportunity to talk to a few people. That was very awesome. They very informative. There are some misconceptions that I had about the post office that now I have to do some more homework. I realize now it's just kind of a shell game where the government has more or less been moving the money around to make it look like the post office is losing money, so they can sell it off. So that's even freaking worse, worse than I thought it was. So now I have to do that research and verify all that information. That's another rabbit hole. Of course, the best thing about this anyway, the best thing about where this protest where this protest is it's literally oh gosh, probably just about a mile from my house. So that's cool. I don't have a long drive home. And the other thing is this parking lot is half empty, so I didn't have an issue parking. So that's cool. Whenever I go to Oakland and San Francisco, of course, that takes most of the time. Alright guys, so I'm gonna sign off, and I need to offload the HD of this, mostly because a couple of other people would like to have it for some other media uses. So I'm gonna get home and get that done right away, and then I'll be online at some point. And other than that, thank you everyone for stopping in. And thank you for everybody who restreamed me. And hopefully there'll be more protests out this way, because I have to admit, I mean, I'm looking all the time for things that are going on, but so many things are going on the East Coast. And, or of course there's a lot going on in Albuquerque, and that's 1,000 miles away from me. So there's a lot of those things that I'm not able to get to. But coming up soon, the Andy Lopez protests are going to be starting back up again. And of course there's May Day. I can't decide where I'm going to go for May Day. I have a choice, I think, of Oakland, Santa Rosa, or Sacramento. So I'm going to do one of them. I'm just not sure which one. And then in the middle and toward the end of May, there's going to be some more Andy Lopez protests, and especially looking toward June 7th, which Andy Lopez would have been 14 years old. So that's going to be a very, very big protest for his birthday. So in the meantime, thank you everybody, and I'll be talking to you at some point. Peace, love, and solidarity.